This time on Roadkill Garage, we got the entire fleet and all the dog meat. We started out with the Cadillac-powered Gremlin, and then
it spun a bearing.
So we went to my Jeep over there.
Wouldn't do a wheelie.
And then Steve's Satellite
overheated.
But you fixed it
with snake oil.
Exactly. And then what?
Well, we got the race to 71 B-body Plymouth.
All of that on this one episode. Can you believe it?
How's that possible?
Gremlin, I actually bought during that $3,000 Hoopty Challenge show that we shot for Facebook. It's actually a 74, and it's got a Cadillac 500 cubic inch V8 in it. So I want to go over this like it was a car that I had bought myself, which I did, and show people sort of what I would do to look the thing over, and then take it to the track and make it faster.
Want to know what I like about this?
What?
It's American, it's subcompact, and it's got 500 cubic inches of V8 power.
Whoa!
Wow, that's torque.
That's all it has is torque. Did you feel it spinning the tires?
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's because it doesn't weigh anything. So I would say overall, this thing is better than your average roadkill car. It looks butchered, but it's actually pretty well assembled and well thought out.
I get scared when you floor it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of violent?
Yeah.
I like how sideways it gets when you floor it.
Maybe that's the part that's scaring me.
That's the good part.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. Think of the burnouts?
Greatest burnouts in the world! Whoa!
That is saying something. It just stays in it.
Yeah.
It just makes torque and keeps making torque. We have to do that again.
It's unstoppable.
Ready?
Yeah.
Wow! Whoa! Dude, this thing is all distance.
It's the best.
This thing is genius. Oh, dude, I don't want to ruin this even a little bit. I love the Gremlin already, and we haven't even touched it. What if the Gremlin is the finest engineered vehicle ever made? We didn't know it.
I never would have suspected.
Wow. The Cadillac 500 just puts the cherry on the top of an otherwise flawless vehicle.
It's going to be fast.
This is going to be all win. Gremlin rolls!
Oh, yeah, it does.
I don't hear it right now, do you?
No.
Man, it's always that last burnout that gets you, isn't it? So we're cruising this thing out there. Everything's awesome. We're loving the car. It does epic burnouts. I never revved it above 5,000, just underside of 5,000. And it started making this hideous noise. I thought it was a torque converter bolt, but Dulcich is now saying he thinks it's a rod knock. Really?
Oh, dear.
There's your filter. So if this thing actually has a really bad rod knock, that means that the bearing is completely shot, which means there's going to be chunks of bearing material in the oil. Then he's going to cut open this filter, and we'll look in the filter element and see if we can spot any hideousness. Yep, that's it. Engine's dead. Loaded with metal. Wow.
Look at that.
Unbelievable. The 500 Caddy in the Caddy Gremi is
junk.
Junk.
No, it's worse than that.
It's garbage.
Trash.
It's actual trash.
Trash.
It has become trash. I think it's actually recyclable trash. But,
okay.
But the thing is, we had a plan to make a whole episode about this. It was going to be great. We're going to clean this all up. We're going to run 10s for less than $5,000.
Might have to raise that by a couple grand now.
Yeah, but we don't have time to make that happen in this episode now. And so we're sitting around looking at each other going, you know what big block never fails us? Or at least it never fails in a way that you and I cannot solve in a moment's notice.
The big block Mopar.
It would be the big block Mopar. That's exactly right. And so we're kicking the Caddy to the curb. This is going to happen at a later date. And Steve has a 71 Satellite in the backyard that he bought that hasn't run in who knows how long. We're going to go resurrect that thing.
Oh, there she is.
So Steve's car is a 1971 Plymouth Satellite, and here's what makes it great. This thing came from Chrysler with purple paint.
But I'll tell you what it did not come with.
What?
A 383 Mopar, because this 383 Mopar was swapped into the car. It is not
really?
original.
Was this a small block car or something?
It was a 318.
Oh. So our plan is the 383 Mopar will not fail us in the manner of the Olds 455, Buick 455, and Cadillac 500, right?
No, the 383 never fails.
Okay, so we need to make this run and drive. Why are you shutting it? Go get a battery and some gas and a plug wire.
You're gonna work on it here in the mud?
Yes.
Oh.
Dude, we're gonna drive this thing away where it sits. We're very flexible on Roadkill Garage. All we're really here to do is have fun with cars, and when one lets us down spectacularly, like the 500 Cadillac in the Gremlin, we just bounce right back. And in this case, we're bouncing to Steve's 71 Satellite, because look at it, aside from the massive dent, it's actually really good. And so we're gonna spend the next 25 minutes getting this running and driving, and I'm gonna say we're gonna pull it away from it right here, right now.
That sounds like it wants to start.
I hear valves opening and closing.
Yeah.
So something's going on. So we just established that the engine turns over. Now we're gonna figure out if we can make it have spark. Oh, these points are wasted.
No way.
Steve's old points were literally melted. This is supposed to be a contact block to rub on the cam, but it's melted. And up here, that's supposed to be an isolator. It's not isolating, it's junk. Now I've got the points theoretically functional, although the distributor is just rotating freely in the blocks. The timing's gonna be way off. We'll still be able to see if we have spark.
Oh, wow. Look at this distributor cap. It's completely destroyed.
You have another one right there.
I know. But that means we have to reroute all the spark plug wires. 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5.
What we're doing is working with the firing order. We know the distributor rotates counterclockwise on this, so it needs to go around in a circle, 1, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. And on the big block Chrysler, this bank is 1, 3, 5, 7. Over there is 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, ready? There, okay!
It's just cranking so slowly. How's it ever going to fire up?
Can you pull off a spark plug wire and see if it's sending spark through the spark plug wires?
Sure.
That's a great spark. That's 100% solid.
That's a pretty good spark.
Right now we've confirmed spark out of the coil and all the way to the spark plugs. We got gas in the hole, but unfortunately it's not even like popping and sparking, backfiring, nothing. So the timing is probably really, really bad, or the spark plugs are incredibly dead, which is what we're about to find out. Steve, you're gonna pull like number 2, I guess?
You think that's garbage?
Look how rusty they are too.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to pull all the plugs. I really didn't want to. We've been trying to do this the lazy way, but. What do you think of like a Jeep wheelie intermission?
I say we abandon this 383 at this moment and go try it.
I twisted your arm?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm trying to work my seatbelt. Here we go. I feel totally safe now.
This thing's wicked. All right, if you saw the last Roadkill Garage, you know that I built this CJ5 with a blown small block Chevy in it, and did that shoot out with dirt every day, but we never had a chance to romp on it. And so Steve and I are gonna go romp on it. Whoa, dude, this thing ripped. Wow.
It has the power to break the tires loose at will.
At any speed.
Yeah.
Let's see, maybe we should try on the dirt. It
No,
just
it just-
annihilates the tire. Wow.
Yeah.
Try it over here.
I don't think you have the traction.
No. It just spins the tire. Ah!
Oh, man.
I don't like hitting the rev limiter with the blower. It's just not going to do anything impressive. I would say the Jeep is a win from the fact that it is just way, way faster than it needs to be, but it's also a little bit impractical and won't do wheelies. So now moving on to the task at hand, we dragged this thing all the way inside because I think we're gonna have to do this the right way instead of just try and cobble it together. Next moves here are gonna be pull all the spark plugs out, actually set the timing the right way, and Steve even dug out one of his famous 95 Dodge truck with a 5.9 as the application for the gear reduction starter on this thing, which will help us hopefully get the engine spinning faster because it's turning so slowly. We're just worried that it's never gonna fire. So starting from scratch, I'll pull the plug wires off. You will install spark plugs. Pretty sure that one wasn't firing. Well, Steve's got the new starter in there, so we're on our way to trying this out yet again.
You won?
Yeah. Okay, throw some gas in there.
I like splashing a little in the secondary, which will feed in there a little slowly. There we go.
Let's see if it'll crank nice and speedy now. Whoa! It fired right up!
I know.
All right.
It sounded like it was a little poppy through the intake valves, which may just be because it hasn't run in probably
how long?
since the 80s.
Probably. That runs.
Yeah.
That's genuine running.
That is one good 383.
Okay. Well, we accomplished something today. We blew up a Cadillac, we did burnouts in my Jeep, and we got a 383 running.
3.
Boom! So tomorrow, running and driving. We're gonna have to put a carburetor on this thing and go through the brakes and put wheels and tires on it. Probably more than we really feel like doing, but at least this thing will be yard movable. Wow, this is a factory Chrysler 2-barrel intake manifold, as you can see by the 2 holes right there. And this is an old school die-cast carburetor adapter to go from that 2-barrel pattern, which you'll notice is screwed to the manifold, to a 4-barrel. Now, if you're in the circumstance of considering to buy one of these, let me assure you, there is no performance advantage. The only reason you would do this is because you have a 4-barrel and it's cheaper than buying a 2-barrel to put on your 2-barrel intake. That's old school and not good.
So it turned out the 383 and the Satellite is actually a 2-barrel engine. Now the 383 was built as a 2-barrel and a 4-barrel. We have a 4-barrel bolted to a 2-barrel manifold with an adapter, and that is no good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use this intake manifold, which is a factory cast iron 4-barrel manifold that actually came off of David Freiburger's 71 Roadrunner. I'm using this carburetor. It's an 1850 series Truck Avenger. Now the Truck Avenger is made for off-road, but it'll work just fine on a muscle car. So I'm gonna clean all this stuff up and finish it by bolting it on.
So what we're doing here is basically just trying to re-verify that the engine's gonna run okay. You saw last night we got it to just fire up with basically the carburetor not even functioning. Right now we're gonna throw on a known good carburetor in my old intake manifold and try and make this thing purr. Come on, oil pressure. How come it's not getting oil pressure?
How do you know?
Didn't you hear the lifters
Oh
clattering?
yeah, I heard that, but I'm wondering maybe they might just be a little sticky.
They could be,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you want to like seafoam it or something like that?
I was thinking ATF.
We're talking about pouring in a little bit of automatic transmission fluid, which tends to have some cleansers in it that'll keep the lifters from clacking, or at least break them loose if they're varnished or rusted up.
Yeah.
And then change the oil and put actual oil in it.
This thing runs like a top.
It runs pretty good.
There's no smoke in here either.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you're gonna fall in love with this engine.
I think I already have.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, we now have 2 quarts of automatic transmission fluid in the engine. Who knows what the total engine oil level is at this point. Ready to fire it up again? Wow, it runs pretty good except for the lifter clatter. Dude, it runs great. Look at that. That's flawless.
I know. It's a good 383 right there. The ATF is doing its work.
Yeah. So what's the next step?
Turn off, jack it up. I'll do transmission service, wheels and tires, done.
I'll start looking at the brakes. Okay.
This motor is great.
not be putting those back on. Other than the mud daubers, the brakes actually aren't that bad. I'm just gonna clean them up, lube them up, and get them going again here. This brake line is broken, so I'm just making it so that it's barely functional enough for us to go drive it.
Man, I've got pangs of guilt. This is our off-road Challenger. You might remember it from one of the most epic episodes of Roadkill Garage ever. I'm talking about when we took this thing to a lava pit and literally almost got blasted to death in a sandstorm. This thing is a heroic vehicle. Now, we actually ended up ruining the engine in the creation of that episode, and unfortunately, it's languished because Freiburger has yet to get me pistons to rebuild the engine. So right now, what is it? It's become a parts car. Because I need a brake hose for the Satellite to get that thing on the road. I'm gonna have to scalp it out of here, take it into the shop, and put it on the purple Satellite. All right, here it is. I had to cut the hard line to get the hose out, but it's out. I'm gonna go and fix the Satellite.
Oh, there's a bunch of water in it. Wow.
No.
Tons.
Really?
Still water, lots of water, and that's all. Nothing else is coming out. Oh, dude. Oh, wow. Super sludgy, Steve. Steve didn't want to change the oil, which is understandable because he didn't want to find out that there was a ton of water in it and sludge and chunks. You got any 90 weight, Steve?
Yeah.
Oh, you should see the big chunk that just fell out.
So there's not much more to do here but install the brake hoses, and then we'll be able to bleed the brakes. Down
Down and holding.
and up.
Up.
That's gonna really suck. We just spent the last half hour trying to bleed the brakes, but this master is not flowing at all to the back brakes, so it's a bad master. We determined that, and I have a spare, so we're gonna swap that out, and then hopefully we'll have the brakes all done.
Remember the Barracuda, Steve's 68 Barracuda that got all torched in the fire, actually even worse than this vehicle? Well, its fuel system is making a comeback. Guest starring appearance. I went and pulled it off the Barracuda in the shop and strapped that 1 gallon fuel cell there. Got my clickety-clack going on right here. And got my switch happening somewhere in here somewhere. There it is. See how it just so handily turns on and off? That's a fuel system.
You never know what you're gonna find when you're working on an old car like this. We tried for quite a while to bleed the right rear brake here, and we were getting no juice. That's because there's no brake line connected to the brake. It's actually broken off right down here, and it turns out to be pinched, so it wasn't leaking a drop of fluid. We ended up changing the master anyway. It was pretty corroded. I'm gonna fix this by adding some new brake lines, and hopefully we'll have brakes at all 4 wheels. I'm super into having the car look its best, and I planned on stealing Freiburger's bitchin' center lines, but this takes an extra long shank and left-hand thread to work with our hub, so we can't even bolt that wheel on, which means we're gonna have mismatched tires and wheels, but it'll get us down the road, and we'll get to try the car out.
Clear?
Clear.
Man, it looks more like a car already.
Look at that. Oh, yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Whoa, shut it off. What did you do?
Did you turn the fuel pump on?
Yeah, you got sparks flying everywhere off your water pump pulley. It freaked me out at first, but now I kind of like it. Come have a look.
Is something wrong?
Yeah, hear it?
Oh. Oh, no. You better turn it off.
Think so?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So what Steve thinks is happening is the bolts that go through the fan all the way into that flange on the water pump are sticking out the backside and hitting the water pump itself. And so he's gonna add a washer to them, which will fix it, which disappoints me greatly because I really like this. This was one of the better things that's happened to us. Okay, trying again, hopefully with no sparks this time. No, still doing it. It's the pulleys hitting each other.
All right, shut the hood, let's go.
Yep. Back it on out. That's what victory looks like. Dude, it looks great. This thing is luxury. Wow. Oh, it doesn't breathe good in here.
No.
Smells bad.
Yeah.
Wow, this thing is smooth.
It is, isn't it?
See, this is the value in just taking garbage and making it run and drive. You look at it, you go, that car's junk. I gotta rebuild the whole thing from scratch. I gotta paint it, gotta get an interior, gotta rebuild a motor. No, you don't.
No.
You have to just cobble that garbage and drive it to find out if you like it.
Oh, this thing is the cruise.
Meat, what do you think of the car? Meat doesn't like it. It's a little too dirty for his standards.
Might be. Oh, your hood scoop's flying off. Speedo works. Oh man, this thing's mint.
I think you have to go 90 miles an hour for this thing to shift.
You might. Okay, we have a problem. We pulled over because the wheel was falling off, which I fixed. But then, watch what happens when you go to restart the perfectly running 383 that was making us super happy not only moments ago. Watch this. Woo! Woo, woo! That is steam from water getting into the crankcase or even into a cylinder. But you know what? It's good enough to drive back to Steve's house. Well, we got it running probably for one final time, and then Steve took off. So I guess I'll walk home and get my own means of transportation that's way cooler than his clapped out purple Satellite that we probably should have never started working on this episode. Didn't even leave me the dog. Man, by the time I got back here, Steve virtually had this thing fixed. Head gasket in a can.
I know.
Works every time. How come they don't make rod bearings in a can? We could have fixed the Cadillac too.
Maybe they do. Maybe it was a lost opportunity.
We could have fixed everything with chemicals. Look at that. It's not even steaming anymore. You're saying it's got water in it and everything?
It's holding.
Dude.
Yeah.
And I thought we were done, but no, we're ready to go again. You ready to shoot this thing out against the Roadrunner?
Oh boy, I've been waiting all day.
Let's drop it down and make that happen. Man, this episode is not ending like I thought it would because I thought we'd be racing a Cadillac Gremlin, but we blew that up. And then we also broke Steve's car, but he managed to fix it with one can of sauce, and that gave me the confidence to put my own 71 Roadrunner right up alongside his. But it does make me think about stuff. And I think this is really, in a nutshell, what our shows with Roadkill and Roadkill Garage are all about. Are you into the genuine, nice, shiny, good muscle car? Or are you into the clapped out version of the exact same body style that's arguably more fun? Are you into a major investment? I've probably got 15 or 16 grand in this thing. Or are you into the 1,200 bucks that runs and drives just barely good enough to get you around the block? Well, I don't think we're really gonna answer those big philosophy questions, but at the end of this episode, there's one thing for sure. We're gonna find out which one of these turds is quicker. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, my car is so slow.
$11.25 in the 2-pole.
Okay, my car was really, really slow.
It's pretty piggy, but
Yeah.
you know what? Mine's not that much quicker. Woo!
Oh, no.
That thing is gonna be hot. 11.25 in the 2-pole. That's the 8th mile. Let's get in mine. Let's
That's
go.
pretty bad. Oh, wow, scratch.
Almost got scratched. Oh, did you feel the secondaries open?
Yeah.
10-41.
You only beat me by 0.6.
Don't hit the Satellite. It is so slow, but it's quicker than yours.
I concede, my car is slow, but yours is only that much less slow.
So we timed like 10:40 in the 2-pole. Yours was 11 and 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
But regardless, I mean, my car's a little bit quicker, even though it's still really slow. But I think the whole point is like a tale of two 71 Mopars. I mean, they're a body style most people hate. We love, we both got them. They're different styles. Mine's expensive, yours is dirt cheap. Yours is roadkill, mine is not. Good times, Dulcich. That was fun. Race you home?
No.
I'm not going to start your car this
You
time.
have to start my engine for me.
Nope.
Oh, no way. Freiburger. He didn't even help me start my car. Bye, Freiburger. Okay. Caddy Gremi, I did like you. Well, it was a quick romance. It was passionate,
But you broke up with us, man.
but it's got to come to an end. Now, I can get into a Sam Kinison thing, you know?
You messed me up, Cadillac! You!
But I won't do that. I still like the Cadillac.